Hello to all of you. Myself Ashish Chawla, and today we discuss the topic about lines and angles. Lines and angles. तो सबसे पहले अपन देखेंगे कि what do you mean by a line? Line, the geometrical representation of a line is like that. And generally the line को हम इस तरह से बोल सकते हैं a line having a length, but there is no breadth of it. So generally the line can be represented by a small letter line L. We can say the line is L, or we can say that if we can take any 2 points on this line, let's say we can take 2 points A and B, we can also represent line in the form like that, AB, then line symbol. So there is a two-way of representation of a line, that is by AB, or you can say the line L simply by small alphabet. Now this is a line. Now and we know that line can be extended in both the directions, on the right hand side as well as on the left hand side. So the line having no fixed length, which because it can be extended in both the directions. Now we define an angle. What do you mean by an angle? Angle is basically, let's say we have a ray. Ray means having one end points, let's say it is O, and this point is A. It can extend in only one direction, that is the ray. Now if we rotate this ray about the vertex, about the end point O in anti-clockwise direction, let's say after rotation this ray come to this point, this position. This is the final position of the ray. This final position of the ray is known as the terminal arm, and the initial position of the ray is known as the initial position of the ray is called the initial arm, and where this initial and terminal arm meets at this point is called the vertex of the angle. Basically the angle is the amount of rotation of a ray about the vertex is known as the angle. Amount of rotation of a ray about a vertex is known as angle. And now the generally angle can be represented as, let's say, angle BOA. The vertex should be written in the middle, that is vertex is O. So there are various ways to represent an angle. One way is angle BOA, or sometimes we write angle O, or sometimes we write angle theta, because this angle is represented as theta. So these are the ways we can represent an angle. Now we discuss what are the types of angles. What are the different types of angles? What are the different types of angles? Now the first angle that we discuss is the acute angle. Acute angle means the angle whose measure is greater than 0 but less than 90 degrees. An angle whose measure is greater than 0 but less than 90 degree is known as acute angle. This is a representation of an acute angle. Now the next angle that we discuss is the right angle. Right angle means an angle whose measure is 90 degree. ऐसा एंगल जिसका मेजर 90 डिग्री हो उसे अपन राइट एंगल बोलेंगे. The geometrical representation of right angle triangle is like that. Generally, we represent a right angle by a square box. It means this angle is a 90 degree. Now the next type of angle is the obtuse triangle. Obtuse triangle. In obtuse triangle, the measure of the angle is greater than 90 degree but less than 180 डिग्री. उस एंगल को अपन वन ऑब्ट्यूज ट्राइंगल बोलेंगे जिसका मेजर 90 से बड़ा हो लेकिन 180 से छोटा हो. Geometrical representation of a obtuse triangle is like that. This is an obtuse triangle, obtuse angle, sorry. After obtuse, we come to a straight angle. Straight angle. Straight angle means an straight angle. The measure of the straight angle is equals to 180 degree. ऐसा एंगल जिसका मेजर 180 डिग्री होगा उसे अपन स्ट्रेट एंगल बोलेंगे. और यू कैन से टू अपोजिट रेज making an angle 180 degree. These are the two opposite rays which makes an angle 180 degree. Now after that straight angle we come to the reflex angle. Reflex angle. Reflex angle means an angle whose measure is greater than 180 degree but less than 360 degree. ऐसा एंगल जिसका मेजर 180 डिग्री से बड़ा हो और 360 से छोटा हो उसे अपन रिफ्लेक्स एंगल बोलेंगे. एंड द ज्योमेट्रिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ दिस एंगल इज लाइक दैट. दिस एंगल represent an reflex angle. After that reflex angle we have a complete angle. Complete angle. What do you mean by complete angle? Complete angle means that this is our initial ray and we rotate this ray through an anti-clockwise direction. After one rotation it comes again it's to the initial position. So the angle made by this ray is 360 degree. Complete angle means when the angle is 360 degree. It means the initial ray is rotating completely one revolution. After that complete angle we have a zero angle also. Zero angle. Zero angle means that is without any rotation. This is a ray, this is the initial position of a ray and this is also the final position of the ray. So here the angle is 0 degree, or you can say the theta is 0 degree. When there is no rotation of the ray, then the angle is said to be a zero angle. Now these are the types of angles. Now after that we discussed some let's say if I ask you name the angles according to their measurements. Let's say what do you call a 90 degree? 90 degree is called a right angle triangle, right angle. What do you call a 125 degree? 125 degree, since it is a greater than 90 degree but less than 180 degree, so we can call it as a obtuse angle. Now 180 degree As we know that the measure of the straight angle is 180 degree, so 180 degree is our straight angle. If you ask, let's say 290 degree, what it is? It is a reflex angle because its measure is greater than 180 degree but less than 360 degrees, so it is a reflex angle. So in this way we can solve some problems. Now after that we discuss about the pairs of angles. Pairs of angles. Pairs of angles. In this, first of all, we discuss about complementary angles. Complementary angles. What do you mean by complementary angles? Two angles whose sum is 90 degree are said to be complementary pairs. दो angles जिनका sum, let's say two angles are theta 1 and theta 2, अगर इनका sum 90 degree होगा तो इन दोनों को अपन बोलेंगे they are the complementary pairs or the complementary angles. It means the two angles whose sum is 90 degree are said to be complementary angles. For example, 60 degree and 30 degree are the complementary pair because their sum is 90 degree. In the same way, we can say that 20 degree and 70 degree are also a complementary pair. After that complementary angles, we come to the supplementary angles. Supplementary angles. Supplementary angle means the two angles whose sum is 180 degree. Let's say the two angles are theta 1 and theta 2. अगर इन दोनों एंगल का सम अगर 180 डिग्री है तो इन दोनों एंगल्स को अपन बोल सकते हैं these are the supplementary pairs or these are the supplementary angles. For example, 130 degree and 50 degree. These two angles having a sum 180 degree because 130 plus 50 is 180 degree. So these make a supplementary angles. Now we will do some problems regarding the complementary and the supplementary pairs. Let's say if I ask you a question that find an angle which is equal to its complement. देखिए हमें एक ऐसा एंगल फाइंड करना है जो कि अपने कॉम्प्लीमेंट के बराबर हो. चलिए सबसे पहले अपन अज्यूम कर लेते हैं कि आपका एंगल क्या है. लेट द एंगल इज थीटा. लेट द एंगल इज थीटा. एंगल को अज्यूम कर लेते हैं थीटा है और इसका जो कॉम्प्लीमेंट एंगल होगा एट द कॉम्प्लीमेंट एंगल. देखिए हमें पता है कि एंगल और दो एंगल का सम अगर 90 डिग्री है तो हमें कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री पेयर बोलते हैं. अगर एक एंगल थीटा है तो जो दूसरा एंगल होगा डेफिनेटली इट इज 90 माइनस थीटा because the sum of these two angles should be 90 degree. So if one angle is theta then the other should be 90 minus theta. Now as it is already given that in the question that the angle and its complement are equal, so we can say that theta is equals to 90 minus theta. So minus theta we can write it 2 theta equals to 90 degree, or we can say theta equals to 45 degree. So our required answer is 45 degree. So 45 degree is an angle whose complement is also a 45 degree, that is the angle itself. We solve some problems. Now find an angle Find an angle whose supplement supplement angle is 5 times its complement. 5 times its complement. Now, to do this problem, again we assume that the angle is theta. Let the angle is theta. Now, the complement of this angle, complement of angle theta is 90 minus theta, and the supplement of the angle theta is 180 minus theta. As we know that in supplement the sum of the angle is 180 degree. If the angle is theta, then its supplement should be 180 minus theta. So according to question, it is given that the supplement angle that is 180 minus theta is 5 times the its complement, that is 90 minus theta. The supplement angle is equals to 5 times the complement. Now we solve this equation. Now 180 minus theta is equals to 5 into 90, that is 450, minus 5 theta. Now we put the variables on the one side and the constant on the other sides. Let's see, minus 5 theta comes to the left hand side, it becomes 5 theta minus theta. 180 comes to the right side, 450 minus 180. 5 theta minus theta comes to be 4 theta. 450 minus 180, it is comes to be 270 degree. Now theta equals to 270 divided by 4, which is comes to be 27 divided by 4, that is 624, 30, 7, 67.5 degree. Now when 270 is divided by 4, it is comes to be 67.5 degree. So the required angle is 67.5. Now we move to the some other pairs of the angles. Now the next pair of angle is, that is a linear pair. Linear pair. Linear pair means the two adjacent angles whose sum is two adjacent angles whose sum is 180 degree. उन एंगल्स को हम लीनियर पेयर बोलेंगे. जिन एडजेसेंट एंगल का सम अगर 180 डिग्री है तो उन्हें हम लीनियर पेयर बोलेंगे. वी कैन इसको हम इस तरह से रिप्रेजेंट कर सकते हैं. सपोज देयर इज अ स्ट्रेट लाइन and we place a ray over it. There are two angles forming. Let's say this is theta 1 and this is theta 2. So these two angles, that is theta 1 and theta 2, are the adjacent angles, and their sum is, if their sum is 180 degree, theta 1 and theta 2, these two are the adjacent angles, and if their sum is 180 degree, then we can say that these two angles are linear pair. These two angles are linear pairs. इस पे अपने एक प्रॉब्लम कर लेते हैं. Let's say there is a straight line and there is a ray. Let's say this angle is 5x and this angle is 4x, then what should be the value of x? As 5x and 4x, these two angles are made on a straight line, so the sum of these angles should be 180 degree. So 4x plus 5x equals to 180 degree. So 4x plus 5x becomes 9x equals to 180 degree. So x equals to 180 degree divided by 9 degree. So the value of x from here, from in this question, should be 20 degree. Now another pair of angle is the adjacent angle. What do you mean by adjacent angle? Adjacent angles, एक एग्जांपल लेके समझते हैं. What do you mean by adjacent angles? For an adjacent angles, there are three conditions necessary. First of all, I write down all these conditions. The first condition is that the two angles are said to be adjacent if they have a common vertex. Vertex should be common. Second, they have one common arm between them. And the third point is that the non-common arms are on the either side of the common arm. Either side of the common arm. Now ये सारे पॉइंट हम डिस्कस करेंगे एक एग्जांपल को लेके कि आप दो एंगल्स को एडजसेंट कब कहते हैं, जब ये अपनी तीन कंडीशंस फुलफिल हो जाएंगे. तो इन कंडीशंस को हम डिस्कस करते हैं. लेट्स से मैंने एक एंगल बनाया. This point is, let's say, A, B, C, and D. We have to check whether angle DAC and CAB are adjacent or not. ठीक है. तो सबसे पहले अपन इन दोनों एंगल्स को देखेंगे, एंगल DAC एंड एंगल CAB. तो हमारा जो फर्स्ट पॉइंट है दैट इज we have a common vertex. So the angle DAC having a vertex A and angle CAB is also having a vertex A. So the first condition is fulfilled, that is they have a common vertex. Now another point is that second point, that is they have a common arm. Now in angle DAC or in angle CAB we have an arm common, that is AC. AC is the common arm between these two angles. So second condition is also fulfilled. Now the last condition, that is the non-common arms are on the either side of the common arms. In angle DAC and angle CAB, AC is the common arm and the non-common arms are AD and BA. They should be on the either side of the common arm. It means कि दोनों का डायरेक्शन अपोजिट होना चाहिए कॉमन आर्म के रेस्पेक्ट में. यहाँ हम देख रहे हैं कि ये जो नॉन कॉमन आर्म है DA, वो इस कॉमन आर्म के ऊपर है और यहाँ पर जो AB जो नॉन कॉमन आर्म है वो इस कॉमन आर्म के नीचे है, मतलब इनका डायरेक्शन अलग है. AD ऊपर आ रही है कॉमन आर्म की और AB कॉमन आर्म के नीचे आ रही है. सो दे आर ऑन द आइदर साइड ऑफ द कॉमन आर्म. तो अपन कह सकते हैं कि ये कंडीशन भी आपकी फुलफिल हो रही है. सो वी कैन से दैट DAC and CAB are the adjacent angles. So we can say angle DAC and angle CAB are adjacent angles. are adjacent angles. So in this way we can define an adjacent angles. For an adjacent angles, these three conditions should be fulfilled. Okay. Now we discuss some terms related to angles, that is angle bisector. What do you mean by angle bisector? Angle bisector means a ray which can bisect the given angle in two equal parts, two equal measures. Let's say this is an angle. Let's say this angle is A, B and C. And if I bisect this angle ABC, this is an angle ABC, and a ray which bisect this angle in two halves, two equal halves. It means, let's say this point is D. The ray BD divides this angle ABC into two equal parts. Let's say ABD is equals to angle DBC. Then we can say that the line BD is the angle bisector. The line BD is said to be angle bisector if it can divide the given angle into two equal parts. So BD is the angle bisector because it divides the angle ABC into two equal equal parts. एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे अगर हम देखें, सपोज करिए आपके पास कोई एंगल दे रखा है, इट्स मेजर इज ए बी सी, इट्स मेजर इज लेट्स से 60 डिग्री, एंड इफ आई ड्रॉ अ एंगल बाइसेक्टर BD, BD is the angle bisector, and we know that the angle bisector divides the given angle into two equal parts. So it means if say this angle is angle X, so this should be angle X, and we know that this angle X plus this angle X should be equals to 60 degree. X plus X is equals to 60 degree, or you can say 2X equals to 60 degree, or we can say X equals to 30 degree. So this angle should be equals to 30 degree, this should be 30 degree. It means the angle bisector divides the given angle into two equal parts. Now the next type of angles is vertically opposite angles. Vertically opposite angle. What do you mean by vertically opposite angles? Suppose we have a two straight line which are intersecting each other, let's say this ray is, this line is L and this line is M. These are intersecting at a point, let's say P. This point of intersection is P. So let's say this angle is 1, this angle is 2, this angle is 3, and this angle is 4. So we can say that the 1 and the 3, these are the opposite angles, or we can say these are the vertically opposite angles. Angle 1 and angle 3 are vertically opposite angles, and the vertically opposite angles are equal. In the same way, 2 and 4 are also the vertically opposite angles. 2 and 4 are also the vertically opposite angles, and they are also equal. Angle 2 is equals to angle 4. This we can prove. Let's say what is the proof of that? As we know that the line M is a straight line. This is a straight line, so the angle made on this line should be 180 degree. The sum of these angles made on this line should be 180 degree. So we can say that angle 1 plus angle 2 is 180 degree. In the same way, L is also a straight line, so the angle made on this line is also 180 degree, that is angle 2 plus angle 3 should be 180 degree. So from these two statements, first and second, we can say that their RHS part is equal, so LHS should be equal. We can say that angle 1 plus angle 2 is equals to angle 2 plus angle 3. So here angle 2 can be cancelled. We can say that angle 1 is equals to angle 3. So this is the proof of the vertically opposed angles are